Okay. So, one benefit to being part of a society that keeps itself so well hidden from the outside world is that we unicorns have the ability to not stand out when we really don't want to. We can basically find ways of not being noticed, which is admittedly kind of hard considering that there are very few ungulates that, he points this giant spiral horn, have these.
But what about the rhinos?
Well, I mean, they don't exactly quite have it to the length that we do. It's kind of like a big flagpole sticking out of our heads.
I don't know how you plan that out.
Well, it makes it difficult to physically hide when we don't want to be seen. It's kind of like a big, hey, look, a unicorn sign, right?
Yeah.
That said, without a sigh, looks at Baiguang. And others in Hoshi. Can I trust him?
Sorry, I spaced out for a second.
Being a staying character, I see. He turns to his Baiguang and says in Hoshi, can I trust him?
Oh, no, I heard what you said. I didn't, I don't know. Baiguang nods confidently.
Back to Dandy. Not far from here, there's actually a unicorn, a mentor of a sort, who maintains a small grove.
Yes.
Well, a small stretch of woods, I should really say. I like to refer to it as a grove, but that's not fully accurate. This, they might be able to help you.
I see.
That said, it goes without saying, you're never to speak of this to anyone.
Understood.
Well, Vesper might be okay, but okay, between the two of you, this information never leaves this table.
Yes. Baiguang nods in assent.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose we could go when you're ready.
I'm ready whenever you want.
He turns to his Baiguang. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid he's going to have to come alone.
Baiguang is a little surprised, but he doesn't argue this.
Oh. But I did learn something, by the way.
Oh?
Yeah, I meant to tell you. Sorry. So those rubbings that you gave me from your book, right? With the transcription, sorry.
Uh-huh.
So I took it there.
Yeah, no, it's
took
not
it to the
Braille.
woodlands. And it's an actual language.
Really?
Yes. We don't know what this language is, but we recognize it's an actual language, and the power you have is a legitimate source of, well, light magic. But these writings and this magic you yield, they're not from this realm.
Baiguang has a surprised/confused expression.
Yeah.
I did myself reflexively and then had to remind myself, wait, people can't see me.
They would love to have you come and basically study more thoroughly to understand what's going on. But a proper study would probably take months, if not years. So if you want to know more, you're going to have to commit some serious time.
Of course.
When I'm back in town, yeah.
First, I definitely want to see to it that the situation in Rain is resolved, but I will definitely be wanting to follow up on that.
So next time I'm around, I'll tell them that you'll take them up on it.
Definitely.
All right.
Like all I had, the most Vesper had been able to help me with was that it's not, and he lowers his voice, holds a hoof up. It's not the words of light. Was all we were able to discern.
He nods. By the way, do you want those transcriptions back?
Oh, you should keep them in case you're able to, in case you encounter anybody who recognizes them by chance.
All right. Next time I swing by the woodlands, I'll let them know to expect you then.
I have the originals after all.
Fair enough. All right. He turns towards Dandy. Sorry about that. I just wanted to let him know that.
I understand.
Well, if you're ready to go, I suppose I am.
All right. He gives Bagwang a pat over the shoulder and says, "Wish me luck."
Best of luck to you. I'll be with the Haisha, seeing what I can do to help the crew. In the meantime.
Okay.
All right. By the way, I wouldn't wait up for us.
Yeah.
He says that to Baigwang. This is probably going to take a while.
All right. Well, if the ship leaves before you get back, I suppose I'll wait for you, or I'll return here to wait for you.
All right.
Have some more drinks.
If we're gone for like a couple of days, do you want to cover the room, or you want?
Bagwang considers the 2,000 gold that he was just given recently.
Hey, Clever doesn't know that.
I can cover it. Don't worry.
All right. All right. Come on, Dandy. Let's go see if we can help out your He sort of shakes his head. A spouse to be, I suppose.
I believe the word is fiancé. Well, because they're not fiancé yet. I think that comes after the proposal.
He sort of shakes his head as he makes his way out. Muttering, I can't believe I just said that. And,
bartender, I'll have another fireball.
The bartender brings another.
The bartender casts fireball.
Oh no! Into a glass.
I do have a bartender character that can cast that.
I mean, when someone wants a fireball, why not give them what they ask for?
Nice.
And right before we transition, credit where credit is due, I intentionally left who made this on the map rather than covering it up. It's up in the upper right corner.
Also known as the upper left.
That is left. I just get left right confused, so, don't worry about it.
It's on the port side of the map.
Hush you.
Which is not the side that the port is on.
Hush.
I don't know which is port and which is starboard.
I actually do know that.
Anytime I look it up, I immediately forget, within a day.
Port is left, starboard's right.
Okay. I was correct.
Then I think bow is the front and stern is the back.
Yep.
What was Bow in this campaign?
She's on the front of the ship.
Clearly. We just said bow was at the front.
Yeah.
So the two of you head out of town and begin braving the cold wilderness that is out there. And Rain isn't exactly a perfectly snow-covered, white island. It's got some diversity to its landscape. And it's the type of year where some parts of it aren't covered in giant glaciers. Some of it actually has bits of green here and there.
It's the snowy part with trees, and the snowy part with rocks. I think that was like a Skyrim review.
Yeah, that sounds like Skyrim, all right. Reminds me of a review of Oblivion where they made fun of the landscape, but that's a different time.
Yeah.
It's also a reviewer that I probably shouldn't watch, but I do anyways. So after traveling for a fair bit of time, the two of you, he stops and sets up a small fire pit and begins cooking a bit of food, and there's silence for a little while. He doesn't really say a whole lot, actually. Are you guys on the wrong... You're on the wrong layer, aren't you? Dagnabbit. Whatever.
Are they on the angelic layer?
Whatever. I don't know.
I don't own Dandy anymore.
Yeah, just go ahead and spawn your own.
Spawn Dandy 3.0.
Yeah. And then she should put him up here anyways. And after a little bit, he turns towards you. You hungry? You want anything?
I'll be fine.
Roll 20, really?
He pulls out a gourd.
He looks at the gourd curiously.
What? It's healthy for you.
Fair enough. Oh, I hear they're a bit expensive these days.
Yeah.
I don't know why Annie would pay a lot of money for those things. Rip off, if you ask me. I mean, the thing itself is fine enough. I just don't want why anyone would try and charge more than they're worth.
Yeah. What you mean?
He goes out aside and puts down the things he's stirring with. I'm sorry, Dandy. I'll be honest. It's very difficult because, I mean, I grew up in this culture that's, isolationist, and by bringing here, I'm exposing you to things that non-unicorns were really not supposed to be exposed to. And I'll be honest, this entire time, even cooking this was me trying to figure out if I really wanted to go through.
I get what you're saying.
I asked your friend if I could trust you, and he said I could. It's just, old habits die hard, even for people like me. Even for unicorns like me.
Danny gives just an understanding look.
Well, thank you. I mean, I don't mean any offense. It's just, kind of hard.
It's fine. These sorts of things aren't something I'm new to.
Yeah, sheep kind of get it rough, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Especially outside of Ba.
I believe it. So turns and walks away, kind of like reflectively, like he's just sort of thinking.
Oh, just a pace, okay.
And stops and glances. Dandy.
Yes. Yes, Clover.
When I was describing to you how courtship works, if you had, say you were a unicorn, just the purpose of my question, how long of a courtship would you choose if the choice was yours to make? So you had all the time in the world. How long of a courtship would you pick?
If I were a unicorn and I had all the time they did, I'd make that. Well, saying that means that. Well, to be honest, courtship Well, it is a bunch. It's a time to have experiences, I suppose. Have experiences that you'll remember. Just like exploring each other's just person and all that. Love, love is hard to describe. It really is. Just, I don't know. It is. I think it would just be a step, another step towards. Well,
Would you prefer a longer courtship or a shorter one?
just really thinking about it, I'd probably still go shorter, even if I had the time.
Why is that?
Because it's not like you're going to stop being with the person once it's over. It's just another step, at least in the grand scheme of things.
He pauses for a moment. He considers your words. He turns around and begins speaking in Luxorado. He, of course, doesn't know that you can understand him. But he speaks. Mentor, I have brought a student who I think might be worthy. I think he's a bit impulsive. Perhaps that's a fallacy of his short life, but I think he has a strong heart.
He shrugs behind his back.
So if you're willing to hear him, I have brought him to you. And from the bushes emerges a slightly wild but very beautiful looking unicorn who steps out and regards Dandy with a gaze, the very ancient gaze, and one that commands respect.
Yeah. He steps forward and does a curtsy bow.
And yet there's something warm in that gaze, something gentle perhaps. What is your name?
Dandy Baudelaire.
Dandy Baudelaire. Thank you, Clover. He nods and zoop.
He says goodbye in Luxoratio.
He freezes for a second and kind of glances over with a slightly angry look. And then sort of the anger passes for a moment and he sort of relaxes a bit.
He just gives a smile. It's not like a mischievous smile. It's just like it's just a friendly one.
Gotcha.
Got you.
It's just a gotcha smile for a second, and then it's like an actual face smile.
He sort of relaxes and lets out a breath and shakes his head. He walks away, and the mentor sort of regards you and raises an eyebrow when you speak in Luxorado. You know our language.
Yes. I was taught by well, I suppose there really isn't time to beat around the bush. I was taught this language by Vesper Iris, if you've heard of him.
She gets a considerate look on her face for a minute. Yes, I believe I know him. He gives him a scrutinizing look. And how do you know this Vesper Iris?
Well,
Are you courting?
That's a word for it. Yes, we are courting.
So you seek to make him your spouse?
Hmm.
How unorthodox.
I know it's what I want to do.
But I do not think marriage advice is why you have come here.
No,
Something
there's
is wrong.
something. Yes, there's
Something is wrong with
something.
Vesper.
Yes, yes, yes. He is unwell. He's. Are you aware of what's going on in Rain? Are you aware the of the dark magics going on?
Those are... I suspect his unwell is a bit more than a tummy ache. His
Are-
trouble, his illness must be something serious indeed for you to come here. Did he send you?
He didn't. I was talking with Clover about yeah.
So you are here of your own accord.
proposing. Yes, he more or less.
I see.
His magic was drained by a cult, who practices, well, mad by magics like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just, it's honestly kind of, I don't know. I feel like evil isn't a word to throw around, but just, it's hard to explain. To essentially, there are these cultists who worship the predators, those those things that were locked away all those times ago, all that time ago.
Very familiar with them.
You are?
Continue.
Okay. You see, these cultists, they aim to just, I don't know why. They I've caught one of them. And they've tried to explain why, but it just, I still don't get it. It's just, they have this goal of just turning ungulates into these sorts of like predator ungulate like monstrosities. Is I don't like using these words. They're not good words.
Was Vesper turned into one of these things?
No, but he was. Me and my friends caught him just before he made it to where they performed the ritual. But his magic was drained. He can't even do simple spells now. And it's been like this way for a couple of weeks, and no sign of him getting better.
I see. And why... She pauses for a moment. The fact that you have come here... I presume he is unaware that you are here.
You know,
So you've come alone, seeking help for a unicorn. I find it strange that something so short-lived as a sheep would court a unicorn. Tell me, What is it about this Vesper Iris that makes you care so very deeply?
He begins just to think of just the right words. I, I feel like he just gets it, you know? He thinks forward. He's always excited to just learn what the world has to offer, and it's honestly just kind of enrapturing sometimes. He he's just he's so eager to just push the boundaries on everything. It's just
I see.
something I marvel, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Your words have no meaning to me. It was your eyes I wanted to see. And your eyes provided all the answers I need to that question. I think I can help you, but we'll need to retreat to a more sacred place.
You raising an eyebrow. What do you mean?
Are you able to respect the sacred traditions of the unicorns?
He nods.
Are you willing to do so?
He nods. I will respect your traditions.
Come with me.
After all,
Sorry, finish your sentence.
Yes. After all, you're his family.
She pauses for a moment to give him a sort of a flat look. I suppose in a way you're correct.
I suppose it's just how sheep do things. Oh.
I'm just going to go ahead and remove. No. Oopsies. I did the wrong thing. Okay. As you step in further into the woodlands, you begin hearing the sounds of of water running.
Are these the wilderness or the woodlands?
You're in a woodlands-like area at this point.
I see.
So it mostly just me misspeaking. You're not actually in the woods themselves. It might as well be in a sense.
Okay.
Okay. As you step in, you get a sense of reverie. Place. It's the sounds of the water are there, but otherwise it sounds very quiet, very still here. Save the sounds of the occasional bits of wildlife here and there. And a strange sense of peace sort of settles on you. And not far near the river, you see a tree that's sort of sticking out. It stands out a bit.
Since he knows that unicorns are all about nature, he tries to stay on the path.
Well, there actually isn't a path. This is
what?
Yeah. Despite the fact there's a path in the map, there's not actually a path. You guys are pretty well surrounded by just trees at this point.
He tries to tread carefully, not try to disturb anything that looks important.
Fair enough. I mean, when you're looking for pre-made maps, you kind of work with what you got. So. Dandy Baudelaire, what do you know about nature? What do you think and feel about it?
Well, thinking and thinking isn't really something I do with nature. I just sort of feel that when I don't. I know unicorns are very keen on that sort of thing, but I was just this wasn't ever anything I could ever understand. I understand, I suppose, the surface of it all, just how it feels to sit in a quiet place like this, just
And how
being
does it
alone with yourself.
and how does it feel, Dandy Baudelaire?
It feels refreshing to be away from everything, to be alone where there's no one to tell you you're wrong. There's no one to tell you you're right. That's how I see it anyway.
What do you know of the magic of light?
Don't other than how I feel when he other than I feel when he Vesper uses it on me uses it to heal me sometimes. I don't know much. I only know it's warm, and I don't know anything about just
Did you say that it's warm?
yes, warm.
Okay.
I don't know how it works. I don't know how it behaves. It's just a part of me is curious, but I understand it's important to you.
You say that this makes you feel refreshed and that you feel warmth when Vesper weaves the magic of light into you. These are sensations that are welcome companions, constant companions to those who are disciples of the magic of light. The magic of light and nature are intertwined one with another. One cannot exist without the other, and the one weaves through the other. Do you know why? So secret.
I imagine, well, funnily enough, things. No, really, I don't actually.
She
I don't
nods.
know.
A good answer.
I have guesses, but I truthfully don't know.
The magic of light. We guard and protect the magic of light, not because we wish it to be a secret. No. In fact, the magic of light wishes to spread throughout all the ungulates of Foenum. But we keep it a secret because it is a power that responds only to those who are pure in heart. Nature is in many ways pure. It acts and does what it does without deception, without ulterior motives. There is, of course, deception in nature. Being a sheep, you yourself have seen I assume you have spent time around those sheepdogs, I believe you call them, yes?
Mine have passed away for a while now.
Hmm. You know that nature is not 100% benign, shall we say. But the magic light is weaved into nature because nature is, for the most part, pure. And that is why nature is so important to us. It is when we're in nature, when we're surrounded by nature, pure, undefiled nature, it is in this circumstance that we can connect to the light the strongest. It speaks and flows through and to us the easiest, is unhindered. This tree should have been dead about 200 or 300 years ago. But yet it lives. Because the magic of light flows through me and from me through it, and then back again.
I see.
The magic of light responds and assists those who are pure in heart, those who would seek to do good, who wish for it and have the courage to bring it about in this world. There are not many in this world who have such hearts. Many of them have ulterior motives, have secret desires. They would use this power for their own selfish ends. We even have some examples of those who have tasted and touched the light, the magic of light, and either abused it or forsook it. But I do not believe that only us unicorns should have access to it. But I do think only those who are, forgive me for being redundant, pure in heart should receive it. I explain all this to you, Dandy Baudelaire, because you have come here of a pure desire to fix and heal the one that you care about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other ulterior motives in coming here? Some secret desire that, shall we say, may taint your actions?
He thinks on that.
She looks up. I believe you can save him. But to do so, you must become a disciple of the light.
His eyes just widen in shock. Me?
I know very well who Vesper is. I know for a fact that... Actually, wait, no, never mind. You didn't say that. Sorry, I was leading to a train of thought that I didn't want to go into. I shall give you a choice. At this juncture lies two paths you can take. If you wish to turn... If you wish, I can teach you. And you can become a disciple of the light. And gain within your own ability, gain with your own power, the ability to save and heal your beloved. But to do so, you must become a champion of the light. Pure in heart, without guile, without tainted desires. And if you do so, then the light can flow through you. Or, if you're unwilling or unable to take this, I will go with you to Vesper, and I will fix him if I am able.
He thinks on that.
Think upon this carefully, Dandy. This is not a decision to be made lightly. I shall leave you for a moment. When you have decided, simply call for the mentor. With that,
He turns
melts.
around. Real quick, he turns around. Do you have a name?
In time. And she then melds into the tree behind her and vanishes.
Yeah. He goes over to this, just slowly walks around, just looks at nature, looks at the trees, looks at little bugs on the trees, watches the river flow, just sits on this rock, thinking about it. Yeah. He just thinks about, is he truly pure of heart? Could he really handle that? Is it something he wishes to devote his time towards?
All very good questions.
Wishing there was he wishes there was an actual charisma divine class in this game. Wishing he didn't have 13 wisdom.
I wouldn't worry too much from the mechanics. This is more of a character building decision here.
Are paladins not charisma?
They are charisma, but they're only paladins.
Rude.
Sorcerer is the same thing. But sorcerer, what I'm getting at is that it's not oracle.
Oracles are basically just divine sorcerers already.
That's kind of true, but
do these divine or arcane magic?
they use divine.
Well, there you go.
He thinks to himself,
Favorite soul, obviously.
Also, oracles are the best. Fight me.
Hush you. Important character thinking. And by the way, if it's confusion, I wouldn't worry too much what this all might mean. Just focus purely on your character.
yeah. Oh, mechanics. I know what I want to do, and I'm sure it's going to be good. But
Fair enough.
then Danny thinks about it for just a minute longer. Thinks, on one hand, what would he even mean? Would it mean that he's becoming closer to the unicorns? Is it just another tie to it? Would it be another tie, or just something that would make him more? Would Would he even make him closer to Vesper?
Another good question.
If-
She is a mentor. Maybe she's willing to answer questions.
What? He's thinking, what would I have to gain versus what would I have to lose? In a way.
Indeed. Cost benefit analysis.
Or is it even, would it even be worth it? Is this what I want to do? Because he likes the arena. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that again.
It is worth noting that the arena is not exactly arena isn't exactly devoid of
Devoid of what?
holy warriors.
It's true. But it's maybe a little different.
Essentially, how altruistic does he want to be?
He already is altruistic, but he doesn't need any light powers to show that.
Perhaps he could look at more as an augment to what he already can do.
Perhaps.
And of course, comes the question, does he want to heal Vesper, or does he want someone else to do it?
It doesn't matter to him in the grand scheme of things. As long as Vesper is back on his feet, he doesn't care. But